When it's up.
All right, we're going.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the finals of the Dune Spice Wars tournament hosted by PMS, right? Yeah, I'm your commentator. With today joining me is Lucidic.
What's up, guys?
So, Lucidic, how long have you been playing this game for?
Oh man, I've been playing ever since the early access, which I don't even know. Was that 3 years ago? It's all kind of a blur, but I definitely have
So,
over 1,000 hours in
you're
the
you're
game.
you're you're quite inverse. You're quite well versed in the mechanics of this game, then.
Well, but it also changes so much. There's all these patches that occur all the time, and we just had the 1.0 release, and some of the changes have been complete reworks to either the money system or the manpower system or the water system. So you gotta always adapt to it.
Yeah. All right, let's introduce our players today. So, in the finals, we have B Frog, the Oceanian King. He's representing Oceania. Apparently, a lot of them want him to win. We have Cream, the American. We have lolgec, no idea where he's from. And we have Spilberk, the least predicted to win. I'm just joking, by the way.
Yeah, and let's go over who they're all playing as well. Let's.
So, from what I can see, lolgec's playing Ecaz, and he's gone with interesting. He went with the one, I forget the lady's name, who can give you authority back for giving a region, and he also took the other one and gives you Landsrad immunity.
Yeah, it looks like he's still loading in for me. I'm not sure how you're seeing that.
I hovered over his stream previously.
Yeah. Okay.
And
So
for Harkonnen, we have, is that Cream? Cream as Harkonnen. And he went, oh, what are those two counselors' names? Do you
he's
know them,
he's got
Lucidic?
he's got. I think that's uh one of them's Piter for sure. So he's got the agent
Hider, yeah.
sacrifice. He'll get money. The other one, I'm not sure. Is that Raban or Nefud? I play
That's the
Harkonnen
captain.
release.
It's the captain guy.
So that's
Yeah.
extra militia.
Yeah, but it also, his units don't heal until they get past level one, right?
Oh no, so that's the refund on death guy.
Ah, yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, so that's Nefud.
And then for B Frog, his streams like he's playing Corrino, he's playing Winsikia Fenric. Let's go. And then Spilberg is playing Fremen, but we have no idea who he took because he's not streaming. But that's fine. We'll just have to go from these three perspectives.
Yep, and Corrino, that is Frog. He's got Winsikia and Finring,
And
so he's got the double building. He can produce two of each building type in each village. Normally, you can only make one. A lot of people
yeah,
there's a little bit
just
of
double the upkeep.
there's a little bit of controversy with Winsikia because some people say that you can't really play Corrino properly without her, um, but she does she brings such a unique mechanic to the game that people get attached to it. But she has a downside as well because you got to have all these expensive buildings all the time.
Thing is, though, there's never been a situation in Corrino where I've gone, oh shit, I wish I didn't bring Winsikia. But there's always been a moment where I've been, damn, if I brought Winsikia, this would be perfect.
Yeah, she
That's
can.
that's the kind of way I feel about her.
Yeah, and we were talking about this previously, but she's got a bit of RNG to her. So, for example, the village that Frog is about to capture, that he's fighting over right now, has a trait on it that gives you +1 Plascrete Factory. So he can already make two there by default since he has Winsikia, but with that trait he can make three, and then he can get an investment office as well, which is another building that will give you an additional trait. And so he could put down four Plascrete buildings down in that one village. And I believe Corrino has another
Hmm.
development that gives you an even further bonus if you have four buildings of the same type. Um,
10% production if you have four buildings of the same type.
yeah, so that one
I'm
zone
I'm
that
very
he's
well versed in
capturing,
Corrino.
right now could be kind of his backbone of his economy if he plays it
Let me
that way.
take a look. I was busy looking over at Cream. 1 second. So, what did you see his tech order? He's going economy first. I'm assuming he's going to go for water, or no? I'm not sure what he's
He's
researching at the
he's
moment.
getting
No,
a
he's going
statescraft.
to. Yeah.
So he got the first yellow tech, and now he's going for the statescraft tech.
Sorry, just 1 moment. If you just want to comment, somebody sent me a message.
Yeah, so Corrino's doing they take a little bit slower to get going from the rest of the factions, so he's setting up his early game. Let's go take a peek over at lolgec, who is Ecaz.
So yeah, he went. I'll be honest. I've never taken these two counselors together. I've always taken the one of them individually. I've never played with these two together. So maybe he's definitely not going to get the bonus from extra money from sanctuaries, and he's not going to get the extra champion. So he might be going for a governor win this game.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. That the I'm unfortunately I play Ecaz not too much, so I can't remember her name, but the first counselor he has at the top there gives him that lands bonus lands rad standing whenever he builds a
Immunity, yeah. He's gone to. I see he's playing the classic strat to save manpower as Ecaz. He's gone with two fencers instead of an extra squire and musketeer. Uh, I don't really like fencers that much, but that's a personal thing. But yeah, this is the one way to save manpower as Ecaz, or maybe he's gonna teach us today why fencers are actually really good.
Yeah, well, and the other thing about Ecaz is they start with the most Landsrad rating out of any faction. So I do think we might
Yeah,
see an early governor push, just given on his counselor makeup alone. So what
I reckon.
what
Oh,
he
go
will
ahead,
do
Mark.
what he will do with this combination is unlike any other faction, since he has a counselor that refunds his authority whenever he captures a zone. He can kind of take whatever he
Hmm.
wants and then just ditch it. And both of those counselors that he have give him bonuses when he builds masterpieces. So one of them will give him +3
I,
lands rad. So he just built
I
one.
would
You can see his lands
a
rad
strategy that
just jumped up there
I
to
was just a
223.
strategy. Yeah, a strategy I like to do with that counselor is capture a region that I know I'm going to make a sanctuary, quickly build three masterpieces in it, and abandon because you get authority for all masterpieces built in a neutral village. You get plus like one authority, I think.
Yeah, you get authority bonuses, lands rad bonuses, and then his other one I think gives him Solari bonuses as long as he controls it.
So I'm just going to make a prediction here. Looking at Cream, I reckon Cream's going to go full aggression on Corrino or Ecaz. He's going to look to take one of them out. That's what I reckon he's going to do this game. And Spilberk might honestly be doing the same. I don't know if he's going to target, but so far, Cream is closest to Ecaz. If you look at his stream, I think Ecaz is going to be his target.
Yeah, he's expanding actually away from him though, so I don't know if we'll see some early aggression or not.
I don't think he can afford to fight Ecaz at the moment early because of the character, because of the counselor he has, because his units won't heal.
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen his tech path yet, but sometimes what Harkonnen will like to do is they get instill fear, which makes their territories cost less authority the more that they pillage them.
The more the
Um,
pillage, yeah.
so if he does not expand towards Ecaz, what he might be trying to do is pillage them slowly over time, so that he can
Mm.
eventually get them for cheap.
I definitely, if I was Ecaz right now, I'd be worried a bit because Cream has a bit of a reputation for running people down as either Harkonnen or Fremen. He's gotten quite good at that.
See, I disagree actually. Let's switch over to Cream and see what he's doing. But Cream, I know that he likes to. Oh, sorry, I was thinking of Spilberk. I'm so used to Cream being Fremen. Um, I think that Spilberk, who we can't observe, it looks like he is going for Instill Fear, by the way, Harkonnen. But
Mm,
Spilberk,
yeah.
I think we're going to see probably attack Corrino.
Maybe he is on the other side. He is next to him. So, but I think B Frog, he's going to find out that he's next to him, and he's going to start investing in an army. He's got some political tech. I
Yeah.
mean, in my opinion, I'm gonna make a prediction here. I reckon what it's gonna come down to is the match. If Carino's left alone or left to survive, I reckon the match is gonna come down to Carino or Ecaz.
So we just had a truce between Ecaz and Harkonnen. So it looks like we're not going to see early fighting between them. And Harkonnen did look like he's getting Instill Fear. So
Mm, very interesting. Very interesting. Ecaz over here, classic expansion. Oh, three squires. He's really trying to save on that manpower. He's pillaging the villages around him, though. He pillaged the one up north. That's an interesting tactic. Maybe he's looking to make that a sanctuary then.
He just got a POI for more Landsrad, so he's absolutely gonna try to do an early governor
Oh,
push
for
here.
governor, yeah. And he's going for a lot of fencers. That's a lot of fencers I see from him.
So when Ecaz do these early governor pushes, they can get it remarkably faster than everybody else. The downside is that it comes at the cost of number one,
Making yourself an enemy in the
yeah,
lobby.
everybody's going to team up on them, but also they have trouble keeping up with their military. And so he has, a ton of fencers that he's building here, which are not going to scale well in any sort of
Not the
large fight.
strongest Ecaz unit.
But once you do win the governor title, the first person who wins it gets 10k Solari.
It's the money, yeah. Huh?
Got a little bit of. I'm going to mute some people.
Yeah. Anyways, getting back to what you were saying on that, he's also going to be sandwiched between Harkonnen and Corrino. Not really a position I'd like to be as Ecaz because you're going to be forced to fight two of the strongest armies in the game at the moment. Well, I say two of the strongest. They just have the best kind of armies at the end, or have the best strength. Especially Harkonnen, they can just run people down if they really want to.
Let's
But
uh
also having Corrino to the south.
let's pop over to B-Frog with Corrino and see what he's got going
Let's see
on.
what.
I'm curious if he's getting close to Fremen. Looks like so far he's still in his own little bubble. But will Fremen come for him is the question.
His stream's a bit laggy. I can't see. Did he lose some lands right there, or is he fine? No, did he gain some?
Fremen wants to he's truced with Fremen. He's got 210 Landsrad. So I think
Well,
that's
remember though, Fremen can always do the betray and gain the bonus for that. So
yeah, Fremen can betray. It does obviously they won't lose any votes, so it doesn't hurt them in that
hmm.
regard. But it will screw over his economy. Uh, yeah, Corrino's stream is a little.
Frog here.
Well,
Yeah, he's a bit laggy.
we're gonna have to switch back to someone else. See what Cream's
I'm
up
gonna
to.
take a look at lolgec. Lolgec with even more fences. Very interesting. He's built another extra fence. He's going for Governor Rush. He's got 290 lands red. He's 100% going to try and Governor Rush this. Interesting. He's building a lot of masterpieces. I reckon it
So
could be possible that he gets a really early governor.
Well, so I believe with his counselor combination, that's all he's trying to really build. He doesn't have
Yeah.
he's got plus 10 manpower, so he maybe has one or two recruiting centers, but he's pretty much only got those masterpieces. And while he owns the villages, they will give him additional Solari, and then when he abandons them, not only does he get his authority back, but they give him an authority generation bonus when they are in
He
neutral
doesn't have a
villages.
sanctuary. Yeah, no, look, he just abandoned a village there.
Yeah,
You
so
saw that?
he's just gonna keep expanding and getting that lands rat up, getting those authority bonuses, so it kind of snowballs a little bit. But the second he encounters any pressure, he's going to have to crumble and pivot.
He's gonna struggle. Yeah, fencers are just not mass fencers like this is just not the way you want to go when fighting down another opponent. Especially someone like Harkonnen or Corrino, because fencers don't have the. I can't remember the exact amount of HP, but they don't have a lot.
Yeah, this strategy I've seen it work when it catches people off guard and in unskilled lobbies, but I think in a tournament game like this, especially with some aggressive players like Cream and Spilberk, they
I
will
think
be
he's
able to
making a
challenge
mistake.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's going to make an enemy of this lobby too quickly. I do not see a time where Cream or Beefrog will just sit by and let somebody get governor like that and not intervene. I mean, Spielberg might not be in a position to do anything unless he worms all the way over there. But I still don't think they're going to let him just get away with that, especially since he's still got no military technology either. With Harkonnen that close, I would have at least gotten 3 military tech before going in.
I'm switching back over to Cream here. It looks like he just took his second spice field and is getting it set up. He has been pillaging these territories near him for instill fear, like we were talking about. So he will probably eventually capture all
Of
those
his
after.
guys. Yeah, to level up his guys as well, so he can start healing. Do you play much Harkonnen Lucidic?
I don't, but I will tell you what I see going on here. Especially so in the beginning, he took the FUD. So whenever he's a unique counselor in the sense that when you get hurt, you can't regenerate. Now the catch
Until you
is,
get reach your next level. Yeah.
yeah, the catch is if you die, you get your resources refunded. Now if the cannon fodder troops manage to get experienced enough to where they get to level 2, that mechanic goes away. So he's
Mm.
designed to be able to just throw cheap units at people, not caring if they live or die, and kind of overwhelming them that way. You can still get an elite force, but there's just less of a focus on it than other factions.
I reckon Cream is gonna. He's looking to fight someone because of those counselors he's got. The one that allows him to refund his troops and also Fade. He gives you intel, doesn't he?
Do you mean Piter?
Yeah, Piter. Sorry, he
Yeah,
gives you intel for that, doesn't he?
I don't think he gives you intel. What he does is he allows you to sacrifice an agent, and if you do so, it will give you 500 Solari. And it also, when you sacrifice an agent, reduces the cost of the mission. So he kind of indirectly gives you some intel there. I don't think he has any other mechanic besides that. Am I mistaken?
I reckon, this is a prediction, right? Yeah, I reckon he's gonna be throwing units at people, and he's gonna constantly keep sacrificing agents on. Is it what's that ability Harkonnen uses to boost its troops? Is it like drugs or something?
Combat drugs. Yeah.
Yeah, the
So
combat drugs. That
so
one. He's gonna constantly
sometimes
get that.
sometimes Harkonnen players like to use Piter to because the more agents you have, the slower you get new ones at. But if you have few,
Mm.
you'll get them really fast. So sometimes people will like to just chain assassinate or chain sacrifice their agents at the start of the game just to get a little Solari cushion underneath them, and the agents will replenish so fast that it doesn't really matter. But given that Cream has 5 agents here, it doesn't look like he's taking advantage of that, and he's probably holding out to use his sacrifices on the more expensive operations. So yeah, combat drugs,
Mm.
maybe one of them.
Let me take a look at. Wow, lolgec again. Even more fences. Although he does have the option. He just got a max rank. He just got a through the mission. Yeah, and is he going to make that his champion? I wonder. But yeah, it's a fully ranked knight straight out on the field right there from that operation. He still has no sanctuary from what I can see. Interesting play. He's trying to build one. I can see he's trying to build one, but he doesn't have one already, which is very, very strange. What's your take on that, Lucidic?
Well, I unfortunately I'm not as familiar with Ecaz, and I don't remember, do either of his counselors give him a bonus from having sanctuaries? Like maybe that he doesn't really get much from doing that.
Well, you get the bonus for every sanctuary gives you. Is it in? What's the?
I know they
It
can.
increases the traits of each village by one.
Right, and then there's a development you can get that will give you some Solari and I think some water, but his
Yes,
counselor
yes.
combination alone doesn't give him any
Doesn't give
kind of
him any more
benefit.
bonus. Yeah,
And if he hasn't gotten any of those developments, I think the only thing he really gets is the traits, which, you know,
he's definitely specking into economy. He's definitely specking into what's that tech tree again? The blue one,
statescraft. Yeah. So
statescraft. Yeah, he's
states.
definitely going for governor.
Yeah,
Three
that's
hundred and oh look, 345 lines red standing right there.
and what does
A very risky play.
I believe that Ecaz has a unique faction-specific development at the end of the statescraft tree. Do you recall what that does?
Mm, not a clue. I don't invest in that tree. Funny enough. Hold on. He may. I reckon. Okay,
So,
maybe he's building a lot of fencers because governor and people come trying to fight him. He
well,
can defend with them better because it's so early on. Maybe that's his goal here.
I think it's purely just that's the most he can get with the manpower he's got available. I mean, he's made two statescraft main buildings in his 3 slot, so he
Mm,
is going for a third one. Right now, he currently has a truce with every single player in the game. Um, and that's going to every truce you have active gives you an additional 5 Landsrad standing per Landsrad council. So he's getting 15 from
Mm.
that. He's probably got another 10 from the embassy that he's got built. He gets 3 every time he puts a uh, masterpiece down in one of these villages. So we're absolutely seeing that, and right now I think he's trading, and we even got research agreements with them. So he's just trying to jump for that boost.
It could, right? This could be actually a brilliant play now that I think about it, because if it's so early on, players aren't usually ready for that and usually don't have, the military or the capabilities to go over there and kill someone that early, unless, you've been teching towards that, which I think Cream is or Spilberg is. But this could be a brilliant play by him.
Yeah, and
It's brilliant, but I think it's also risky.
somebody in the chat made a good call out that Ecaz is probably going to go for that judge charter as soon as it shows up. And when he gets that, that's going to really help him be a little bit less lopsided with all this fencer play, is he can use his influence to
Mm.
build judges, which also take 50% less damage in his own territory. So it's a super defensive
I think
militaristic play.
Cream just I was looking at his stream. He just took a look at the charter and he just saw that judge is up, and I think he's either gonna think that B Frog is going for it because of a strategy you can do with the judge if you have judge of the council as Corrino, where you can actually beat Fremen early if they try and rush you. So you could think that B Frog's trying to get it, or he could think that maybe Ecaz is actually going for governor. I wonder if he's going to know the difference. And then
I'm
B Frog over here,
yeah, I'm
if his
taking a
stream ever loads.
yeah, I'm looking at B Frog's stream. It'll be a little laggy. We'll see if we can glean anything from it.
So he's now investing in military, so he's getting that up now.
Yep, and he got a second spice just now.
Mm.
Yeah,
He
B-Frog is
has
our,
a very small army.
for those of you that don't know, B-Frog is our Oceania player, and this tournament is
It's a bit laggy.
hosted on an NA server, and he's also streaming, so we'll have a little bit of grace for his internet connection here.
Oh, okay. I see why Ecaz might be spamming the fences. There's a military requirement. You have to have a certain amount of military to get. So maybe now he's going to be able to spam more fences out and get the lands right judge of the council, because B Frog cannot qualify for it at the moment, and neither can anyone else. Again, I wish we could see what was going on Fremen's side.
Yeah, so Fremen is Spilberk. I think we had somebody ask that, but he's not streaming, so we can't see his point of view, and he is on the opposite side of the map. What I do know is that he's
Harkonnen is eligible for judge of the council. Interesting. He just got some units out.
right now. It seems like Fremen is not being. I think we're about to see some action between Fremen and Cream Harkonnen,
And yeah, I can see it right there.
because
He's taking that territory.
they do not have any kind of truce active, and they're getting real close to one another.
I think Fremen is Cream's target because Fremen has the ability to worm over to his territory and just when he's not looking. So I reckon he wants to get rid of that, and then he wants to focus down Ecaz.
Well,
It's what I would do if I was Harkonnen.
and Harkonnen has a truce with Ecaz, and so he's not going to want to
Mm.
fight a two-sided front, and he's also just trying to slow pillage all those territories over there. So if he can
I
he's going to
don't
try
think
to stay
Ecaz is
neutral.
gonna. Yeah, and Ecaz isn't going to fight him because Ecaz is going for a governor win.
Yep.
So this could actually be detrimental to Cream if he gets locked in a gridlock with Fremen and he doesn't realize what's really going on. But B Frog, luckily, isn't in a deadlock, so B Frog might be able to see what's going on if those two get stuck fighting, and he could make a move on that.
So okay, we're getting a look at B Frog's tech tree. B Frog,
Classic, right there. That's the
we can
classic
actually
one,
read it
right there.
all.
That's what you need.
So yeah,
Yeah.
all right, he's gonna go heavy into eco, get his spice production up, and it looked like he was tempted to get outpost logistics, which he can get half off
Mhm.
with his trade agreement, but that'll allow him to expand a lot more. And we don't see a second main base from him yet, but he is
Yes.
he is happily truced with everybody, just trading. All right, we got
Mm.
Judge. Judge was declined, so
Yes. Another thing to notice is that he hasn't gotten the tech that gives him money from the regions around his territory. That's going to be interesting because if he he drops his second Imperial base.
We're also seeing a 3 statescraft main base building from
So
Corrino.
he's also going for a governor. He's going to contest, I think,
Yeah,
Ecaz.
I think he just realizes that he's gonna need to have something to stop Ecaz from running away with it.
Yeah, and of course, Bfrog here mid-maxing his regions. If only he could click on them for us to see, but he's definitely getting a lot out of those 4 regions that he's got. Bfrog has always been pretty good at min-maxing that, especially with Sikia. With the double building, you can get quite a lot of bonuses from those traits. He also has the technology to boost all traits near around his main base. Pretty good. Very interesting. Let's take a look at lolgec over here. Has he built even more fences? It's still the same number of fences, I think. But he is on 412 Landsrad. He is pushing heavily for this governorship right here.
Yeah, so he might be able to be eligible for governor. Actually, no, he's not because he doesn't have any sort of charter. You've got to have a charter before you can be voted for governor.
I thought they removed that.
Nope, not to my knowledge. You got to have one Landsrad charter in your name, unless you're Fremen.
Maybe I reckon he's going to play it slow then. He's going to wait until later on and then he's going to grab those charters because he doesn't. You never want to become in these tournaments the first person to lead because then you're the first person to go for and then they go for the next person.
Yeah, so the lobby did a
He's
good job of recognizing the fact that if he had gotten that judge charter, he could have made a vie at governor here in this upcoming election, but it was denied. So
he's
now we got water
got
sellers
water
on the
sellers.
table,
Corrino is eligible.
and
Corino's probably going to invest heavily into
there's
that. Water sellers,
also
he's going to put everything.
a trial of the great houses, which if they were smart, they might use that to slow him down, although it might hurt him more.
Speaking of lolgec at the moment, as Ecaz, he's now finally investing into military tech. So who knows? We can see some of his fences are actually perfected. Funny enough, so he can't be too far from reaching the technology he needs to just get his army up to 65 CP.
He's capped on manpower, so if nothing
Yeah. So
else, he could just be perfecting things. So for those of you who don't know, Ecaz, once they get that, oh, he
there's his
hasn't,
factory. There
yeah,
we
he
saw.
hasn't finished it yet. So he's working on martial
Yeah.
perfection, and that will allow him to spend. He's doing it right now.
More manpower and more money.
The units is it 150% more expensive, or maybe they're twice as expensive, but they've got 50% more power
Yeah, something like that.
and more health.
Yeah, they are like your what if you want perfected units as soon as possible because they're technically your main army. Every other unit before perfected is not gonna be as strong as it can be.
Right, and they take twice as long to train is the downside. They're more expensive and they take a long time. But if you can get your whole army out because people aren't putting pressure on you perfected, then you are in
And your
an
army is one of the
amazing spot.
strongest ones.
Yep. And that is, Ecaz, if left to their own devices, has the strongest military, just pound for pound. But their weakness is that they can
Well,
only train 4 units at a time. Right now, he can only train 2. But everybody else can
I was
train
gonna say,
6 units.
I reckon Corrino has a pretty good shot. If Corrino owns enough of the Chome, I reckon his military could also, match up pretty well to Ecaz over there.
Yeah, another late game faction with Corrino.
Mm. I'm gonna take a look at Cream real quick. Just want to see what he's up to.
Yeah, and we
Is there
haven't been
any
able to
10
see the
Fremen?
Chome shares yet. Cream is working on his lands red though.
Mm.
Oof, he's gonna need a supply drop
Yeah,
there. He doesn't have one.
I'm surprised. I haven't seen any aggressive action from Spilberk or Cream. So
They're playing
very,
it
very
cool.
interesting.
They're playing it cool.
Maybe they don't want to become an enemy of the lobby too quickly. Oh, he's going for Landsred judges. Okay, or yeah, Landsred judges. Oh no, Punishers. Oh, maybe he's looking to take someone out. Interesting.
I think he
But
just
is
knows.
is Beefrog gonna get that?
I think that's the only resolution that really does anything for him. He doesn't want to lower lands red. He knows he can't be significant on the resolution charter, so he's just going to take what he can get.
Efrog is desperately, if you look at his stream, he is desperately trying to get the influence.
Yep,
He wants it. He's trying to
yep,
offer everyone political agreement.
yep.
Water seller huge. For every positive order, I think it's what, like one Solari or like half Solari, something like that.
So I'm looking at Cream. That was a bit unfortunate. He lost an army due to supply loss. It doesn't matter a ton because a lot of them are refundable. But
Mm.
unfortunately, yeah, it looks like he's struggling with water a little bit. So he's trying to go through and pillage everything, but doesn't quite have the supply to sustain him doing that. Which,
Interesting. Frog is now choosing to decline water seller, possibly because he can't get it.
okay, I'm gonna
Interesting.
switch over to B-Frog here. Yeah, so the trend of this lobby might just be deny everything. We don't want to have anybody being
We
political.
don't want anyone. We don't want anyone to be too strong here.
And I do think that's what we're seeing going on between Fremen and Harkonnen is they're both stereo.
Ecaz got water seller.
Oh wow, 700 votes.
Ecaz is heavy in diplomacy. He's making 12 influence every, I think it's like day. Fremen's on his border though. Fremen is now facing off against Ecaz.
Yeah.
Not
So
fighting yet. He's him right
Governor
there.
Governor is on the table at this point, and we've seen that Ecaz is capable of 700 votes. We're gonna start to see a transition in this lobby, I think, where people are gonna realize they're gonna have to do something about Ecaz because he's just gonna run away with it
Well,
unchecked.
there's Spilberk over there. It's Fremen. He's capping it. He's capturing a territory right next to Ecaz. So he's going to go deal with that. He's decided he's
Yep.
not just going to let Ecaz run away with this game.
And I'm really
Ecaz though
happy.
does have a good army out. He
I'm
does have a very decent army out.
I'm really happy to see that we haven't had any spats between Harkonnen and Fremen yet, because that would have thrown this game. They're kind of
Yeah, it would have definitely thrown them into a different thing. But interestingly enough, so Fremen's taken that territory. Fremen cannot fly over there, so maybe it's not that threatening. But he can worm over there. I'm not too familiar with the Fremen
so.
mechanics. You might be more in tune with that, Lucidic.
Yeah, what I do think is going on with Fremen is that is a spice territory that he took, so that will obviously deny it
Mm,
from Ecaz having it. But there's a high chance that Spilberk, the Fremen player, has Stilgar as his counselor, and so for every spice
mm,
field that he controls, he will be getting an additional authority point for that.
mm. Do you see Beefrog and Beefrog and Spilberg putting pressure on Ecaz a bit by putting their borders up close to him?
Yep, yep, everybody's doing a good job here.
Ecaz has successfully made them very aware of his political capability at the moment. I can see he's also grabbed some of the smugglers' POIs to defend himself. You wanna explain what that does, Lucidic? I'm not fully. It's the one that gives you the. Oh, Cream is attacking him. I mean, not Cream. Beefrog. Beefrog is attacking him. Corrino's attacking Ecaz. If we go over to his stream.
All right. Which P? Were you talking about Corrino's POIs?
No, no, it's the smugglers one. It gives you a scavenger and a sniper. Those POIs.
Oh yeah,
You know which one.
yeah. So that gives you pay 1,000 Solari and you can recruit some units. Smugglers can get them for free if they just investigate them, but there are no smugglers in this game. So somebody paid a thousand
Interestingly enough,
dollars.
Interestingly enough, Beefrog is going for a big conscript army. This one, I'm not seeing any Sardaukar or any of that. I have seen it work. Conscript people they look down on them a little bit. They can actually you can stack their damage to 40 sometimes on their rifles. They're pretty dangerous.
I switched over to Hark. Okay, governor vote is up. Harkonnen
Is it up
is
already? Is anyone eligible?
well, it's on the table. You can't vote yet. But Harkonnen's starting to
Hmm.
reclaim some of those territories he's been pillaging. Fremen and Harkonnen just truced with one another, so they're saying we definitely don't want to mess with one another. We got bigger problems.
Ecaz is being pushed in heavily by Corrino at this point. If you take a look, he's trying to liberate two regions. He's backing off to the one now because Ecaz is not letting that happen.
Nice. Looks like Corrino's
He's gonna
struggling with
Ecaz, I
supply
think, can win
though.
that fight.
Hope he's got a supply drop.
Yeah, Ecaz can win that.
So in his back pocket, Ecaz has an operation that he can use. I forget the name of it, but what it does is whenever he
Epic Quest.
places. Go ahead.
Is it Epic Quest, the one that gives you military bonus?
No, it's got the influence. So anytime a unit dies, he gets influence for every unit he kills, and then if the unit leaves or
And
dies, he loses influence.
I, I was gonna say, yeah, that's what it is. I thought you were on about the one where if he places this fog down, you can't control non-mechanical units anymore.
No, but this one's still really powerful for the position that he is in because he's
Oh,
pursuing.
he's eligible for governor.
Exactly. He's about to vote for
He's
governor,
queen.
and people are going to be like, oh shit, we need to stop him. We better attack him. And then he will use that operation, and in the process of trying to hurt him, he just siphons all of their influence so that he can further secure his gov win.
This could be a brilliant play by him. B-Frog is not up to fight him at the moment. I don't think his conscripts can win that battle.
Well,
If I take over at Cream, what's Cream doing about the situation at the moment?
he's not doing
Cream,
anything, is the thing.
Cream does have an army, though.
B-Frog is getting the short end of the stick here because he's trying to prevent this, and he's fighting a losing fight while Fremen and Harkonnen are just kind of
Harkonnen are fighting, yeah.
worried about their own agendas.
Not fighting, sorry, yeah.
They're not fighting
Yeah,
anybody. They're just expanding.
Yeah. I mean, Harkonnen over here is definitely going to be able to start going in on Ecaz. He has a proper army right there.
And I think
A lot of troopers, though.
yeah, he's gonna get Arrakis Butchers, which is gonna give him his last 10 CP. He's definitely gearing up for a fight. The question is it gonna be too late? Because Ecaz will almost certainly win that governor vote.
But I reckon he might just go for the main base, and then Fremen's going to worm over there and finish him off because they'd rather prevent him from getting governor at any point than let him stay around and potentially swoop that in again.
Well, I think that they will be able to kill him. I don't think they're gonna stop him from getting it though.
Yeah. But then you got to look at this from B perspective. Then he's going to have to start gearing up for a fight because then he becomes prime target number one, being the strongest late game faction. Then
Ecaz got 730 votes on it. I don't think they'll be able to stop that. I could be wrong.
130 votes. Ecaz investing heavily in knights. He's got what is that 6 or 7 knights out?
And a lot of those are perfected. There's the governor win.
Nah, he needs to be ready. He needs to know that they're going to come for him. The question is, does lolgec have the capability to defend himself at this moment? He's investing
Here they
in.
come. Everybody's all three on him. He's still truced with Harkonnen. I don't know. I wonder if we're going to see a betrayal here. I think we are.
And Harkonnen's going to screw his. If he went for diplomacy, he's going to ruin his diplomacy over.
Yeah, betrayal is double-edged
Fremen.
sword. Because he will get the increased damage. But he will lose his
Fremen
votes.
standing over there. I'll be honest. I think he went these casters. Not at all. They're going in piecemeal about this.
B-Frog might be hitting him from the south. Yeah, he is.
He is. He's pushing in on.
But just liberating those territories won't give the win.
Funny enough, I do. Well, I mean, lolgec's all in now. This is a final push by him. He's got no other win con to go for now.
So
he's prime target. So
another funny
this
thing.
This is make a break for him.
They're fighting over the acid lakes there, which since lolgec controls it, it won't really do anything.
They lose health. Yeah.
But B-Frog's at a disadvantage there, trying to press that zone. The acid lakes makes you take damage over time the longer you stand there.
Funny. Again, lolgec playing very. How do you say? Very risky, if you will, because he's invested everything into this. This is make or break for him. He's either going to win this and win the game, or he's going to lose because that's what he's gone with. That's what he's decided to play this game.
So we did see a diplomatic betrayal by Harkonnen, so he's not a traitor.
He's going to use epic. He's going to use fog. They can't
fog.
move their units anymore. That's a brilliant play by him. You know what? Lolgec is going all in. He's desperate for this victory because it's his only option at this point.
The problem with the fog is they were already all targeting the base. Yeah.
Unfortunately, lolgec was just not prepared for this.
Yeah, he was going down to defend against Corrino and maybe pulled him out of position a little bit. I think that fog would have worked, but it needed to be used
If he
before they
used it
were already
beforehand.
targeting the base. But that's GG.
I think he was invested way too much into that. He should not have gone all in on this way too early. I reckon he made a mistake.
Yeah. So there it is. Governor play by Ecaz, like we said. The downside, of course, is that will happen. And, he did have a
See,
very
when you
strong
invest
military.
heavily, did you see he was deleting his buildings and building more masterpieces? It's just that was I think he invested way too much and he was getting far too little out of it. He made himself an enemy of the lobby way too early. And now B Frog's going to drop an Imperial basin nearby and he's going to snatch
Yep.
up all those regions.
That is absolutely what B-Frog needs to do, is reclaim
B
some of
Frog
that
now needs
neutral
to be ready for
territory.
a fight.
And yeah, in a
Fremen now marching over south.
in a less skilled lobby, that play will work more often than you think. But these players are experienced
But
and they definitely
yeah,
know how to kill people.
they're not going to be fooled by that. Especially Cream and Spilberk, they are very experienced at that. Unfortunate for lolgec. I mean, it would have been a brilliant play if he managed to live. I reckon if he waited for another player to go out and then went for it, he would have been fine. But doing it that early, a trap move there. And now Corrino is free to capture all these regions and boost up his hegemony. With Bill and Sikia, he could be going for a hegemony win. That it could be the classic strat here. Interesting. The masterpieces are still there, even though he dropped his Imperial Basin. That is quite interesting. Lucidic, what is your
On
comments?
B-Frog,
Well, on anyone in particular, what do you think is going to happen?
well, I can't see Hedge. I do think Fremen is looking quite scary. And B-Frog, of course, did drop his base kind of where we were thinking he should. So, I mean, he's got a
Mm,
solid foundation he can, create from the ashes of Ecaz there. Uh, but Spilberk is wedging himself right in between Cream and B-Frog. And I think that
I reckon
might.
Cream's not going to like that.
I mean, when you're Fremen, you get in this position a lot where everybody hates you. Now, the advantage, and I don't know if he
Mm,
did it on purpose, but the advantage of what has happened here is that Fremen basically got a freebie by having everybody hate Ecaz and eliminating Ecaz.
yeah,
And now that someone is
definitely.
eliminated, Fremen is in a much stronger position overall because it's one less person that can contest them. So,
I do. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
well, I'm also seeing that Fremen has 4 spice fields. There are 3 spice fields that touch the pole right now, and Fremen
Yeah,
has every single one
yeah.
of them. So his authority is going through the roof. He's probably going to go for a hedge win, if I had to guess, and he's going
Mm.
to be in a 2v1 situation instead of a 3v1 situation.
I do think that Fremen did get the shorter though with killing Ecaz because since Corrino dropped his Imperial Basin over there, he's going to get all those regions around him, not Fremen.
I don't think Fremen cares though. Fremen just wants the spice so that he can take every other territory.
Fair enough. You do make a fair point. But I don't think that's going to last. I mean, he's got 2 spice fields bordering Harkonnen there. Harkonnen's eventually going to make a move for those. And I think Beefrog's going to have to expand upwards into the Polar Sink if he wants to have a good shot at Hedge.
It's kind of funny. There's a loss of rights vote up, and nobody has any charters.
And nobody's in a position. Yeah. That's probably it's a bug at the moment. It has to be a bug at the moment.
No, no, it was because the person who held them died. So maybe
Yeah.
maybe it's a bug and they should make it smarter, but that's why it came up.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a free kill on Ecaz. So lesson to be learned there: don't put everything in governor in a very skilled lobby.
Yeah, and we just saw Harkonnen walk away with the judge resolution.
Mm. So now he has access to the lands red judges.
Well, and he's got 380 something lands red. I was trying to see if I can deduce B Frog's number. We'll figure out how much
Let
lands red
me see if I
standing he
can help you out
has.
with that.
Because
This could be a much quicker match than the other ones since we've already lost a player down. So we'll see what happens. B Frog, I think that's 11.3k that he has there.
No, for his Landsrad, I think it's 410.
Oh, his Lansred, no, his Lansred looks like 455.
Okay, so Corrino is the strongest political power here, and I think
Very interesting. Mass conscripts.
for
He's going all conscript.
for Corrino and Harkonnen here, they do have the edge politically over Fremen. Now, Fremen
Mm,
can pivot to a more influence-based governor position, which we saw in one of our previous matches.
mm.
But I'm not sure Spilberk will go for that. I think he's more of an aggressive
No, I think
style.
Spilberg's going to look to take him out. Funny enough, yeah, but with the strategy Beefrog's going, do you think he's? You remember the old patch, one of the old patches, when if you took a Ramsham, your conscripts became like really overpowered?
Yeah,
Yeah, do you think Beefrog's still trying to relive those glory days with all the conscripts he's got out on the field?
I wouldn't guess so.
Because he's got nothing but conscripts. He's got like no incinerators, no Sardaukar, no artillery drones. I don't know. Maybe this could work out. I'm not sure how well this army works. I've never tested that, but I just don't think against Harkonnen that's going to last very long.
Well, I don't think he's going to need it against Harkonnen. I think he's going to need it against Fremen. And I think Fremen will eat that for lunch.
There's Chome. No, almost nobody's invested in Chome. Beefrog, they're actually selling some of his Chome. I think they're all on 7 or 5% of Chome.
Looks like Fremen has Sardaukar from Corrino. So they're all still buddy-buddy.
Yeah, Beefrog looks like he's at peace with both of them, I think.
Yeah, okay, we got some action with Cream and the Fremen. Cream is trying to
Oh,
take that spice field.
I did say it was a matter of time before somebody was going to go for one of those spice fields, and here we are.
Super interesting play with. I find it interesting that Beefrog is truced with both these factions. I think that's definitely the right play. You know, he's gonna let them fight it out while he solidifies
Yeah,
his
while he builds
base.
up.
Although I see him wanting that spice field from. Oh no, Fremen and Corrino are fighting. Switch over to Beefrog.
Oh, they're fighting as well.
Yeah. So we got a main base attack on Corrino. And
Interesting.
his army's over there by his other main base. So he's trying to figure out, do I need to come home and help myself? Which it looks like he's going to need to. He does not have enough chome to get mercenaries. Okay, he's deciding to take the spice field up there with what he's got. So he's just going to have to hope these new units come fast enough and that the base does
And are
enough
strong enough to
damage.
beat this army.
Trying to do some assassinations.
He's building assassins to try and whittle down them. Yep.
Selling chome. I don't think that will be
Couldn't get
enough.
to see how much. Go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
I don't think that's going to be enough to kill him. Maybe it will.
No, I don't think so. No, because he's bringing in the troops now. I don't think he's going to get the kill, but he is going to severely damage this Imperial
I
Basin.
think he is going to get the kill. Well, with the troops that spawn, that might stop it. But those guys
Mm.
are running out of supply. Got a second wave of Fremen forces. I think that
And
base
there's
is
a
going to die.
worm.
And if not, it's dead enough, you know.
Yeah, and now that's the space is gone now. He's just brought in reinforcements, some more Fedaykin over there. How did those guys not get eaten by the worm? Very interesting.
Ah, they
There we
did.
go. There it is. Oh, unfortunate for Beefrog. This is, if anyone has played Corrino, losing an Imperial Basin, it really hurts you. It's not like you can't come back from it, but you definitely are hurt by that.
Well,
Beefrog not paying. Beefrog just doesn't care. You see,
even if he saves this base, there's a small chance he can repair it with a resolution that may or may
the
not
votes,
pass.
yeah.
But even if he doesn't lose it, this just kind of effectively neuters him a little bit because all that anybody has
Mm.
to do is go over there and sneeze on it and it will die. And worst case, Harkonnen can
Until
just
that
nuke it.
resolution comes back.
Harkonnen can
So
just
for
nuke
anyone who
that
doesn't
base
know, there's
too.
a resolution. Yeah. if anyone doesn't know, there's a resolution that if your base is below a certain amount of HP but still alive, there'll be a Landsrad resolution that can be voted in, and if it passes, does it? How much does it heal your base by? Does it fully heal it? How much?
Well, it's like 1 or 2% per day. Uh, and I think
Mm.
the resolution is 20, 30 days. He's gonna get his spice field liberated, which is unfortunate. He didn't have anything he could spare because he had to save his base, so he's gonna lose spice.
You want to know? You want to know what I think would have helped him in that situation? A few Sardaukar.
Absolutely.
They could have easily damaged. They could have killed those Fremen who were on like low
Yeah,
HP, and plus, since he's allied with Harkonnen, the threshold increased.
and I didn't get to see, maybe Fremen betrayed him. I didn't get to see the treaty get broken, but he had half his army on the other side of the map, and so he did. He
Mm-hmm.
definitely was caught unaware that this attack was coming for him.
I don't see any betrayal. The betrayal bonus. Maybe he cancelled the alliance before going in.
Yeah, he must have, like, as he's in the win.
Hmm. Leapfrog is lucky he placed that in second row base and far away from Fremen right there.
I'm gonna hop over see what Harkonnen's up to. Looks
Yeah,
like he
let's take a
just,
look and see what he's doing.
I think he just lost Judge. Loss of rights looked like it went through.
Interesting. He did not take the spice field that Fremen had. He liberated it from Fremen.
If I were Harkonnen right now, I would definitely be putting some serious pressure on Fremen because
Mm-mm.
if you let Corrino die, Corrino's just not a threat to Harkonnen, I don't think. And
Not at the
so
moment.
he just
Not at
needs
the
to
moment.
use
No.
him as a distraction, and if he can prevent his death by putting some pressure on his left flank, that
Mm.
will definitely.
Honestly, I would go in on Fremen right now.
Yeah, if I were
Prime
Cream,
target. He's
if
bordering you on multiple regions.
if I were Cream, I would definitely be pretty antsy about Spilberk running around with Fremen. Knowing Spilberk as a player personally, who Cream and Spilberk have some
Mm.
history playing against one another, and then there's
Yeah.
also the way that this
Mm.
game has shaped up. I think he's definitely sees that this is going to be a problem.
It's definitely a game because of that one guy who's gone. Somebody just said goodbye, Imperial Basin. Is that Imperial Basin still there? Has he lost it?
It doesn't matter. I mean, I'll
He,
check, but
he has
okay, it did.
he has lost.
So by losing that, uh, he's kind of cut off from all his territory over there. He lost all the main base buildings that he had built there, which was a lot of his red ones. So Fremen is just, I don't, I mean, he almost can stop paying attention to Corrino at this point.
He- you can see now. You can
And
see now. Frog has finally learned his lesson. He's actually building some incinerators and Sardaukar, which he should have.
yeah,
Honestly, I don't know what he was going for with the conscript spam against Fremen like that. I
but
just didn't
he's
think it was
he's
going to pan
getting
out very well.
he's getting mass liberated down there, which will probably give Fremen some extra money. Um,
He's in the
okay,
negative in his economy at the moment.
Cream is finally doing something about Fremen, although he tried to run through a deep desert and it looks like he got decoy thumpered, which I'm assuming Fremen did. So he's
Mm.
replacing those troops. He could start by hitting that spice harvester right below him.
Mm. I think he's finally taking the opportunity now that he knows that Corrino is weakened and crippled. He's not going to let Fremen run away with this game.
It might
I
be,
think it's now either Spilberg or Cream's game to lose. It's between these two. I don't think Corrino is going to be much of an influence in this game anymore.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I right now I think that Fremen has this in the bag. I think Cream took a
It's his
little
game
bit
to
too.
lose.
I think Cream took a little bit too long. I think he needed to not let the main base die from Corrino
Yeah,
because
he should have kept
Fremen
him.
is gonna tunnel vision that hard,
Mm.
and now that tunnel vision's removed because it's dead, and he's just got to go over there and liberate, which he's probably almost done with. Yep.
So yeah, it's a Fremen kind of game right at the moment. But Cream's probably going to start making some moves, or if not, he should be making some moves. Because if I was him and I see that Corrino is about to go at, he's gonna need to preemptively weaken Fremen before going in to fight him. There he is. He's fighting him right there. Oh, Fremen has
Here
the altar
comes,
out.
yep, here comes the altar. And if this is a traditional Harkonnen army, it's gonna be like, hey, it's a flying unit. What do I do?
Yeah, pretty much. Then again, though, you could say the same about Fremen. If he builds any harpies, that could be very devastating to Fremen.
Well, yeah, on that note, I was just looking. I don't see any. I don't know if he. I think he just built a Space and Guild branch, but he's not. It's either not done or
Mm.
he's not trading it for resources yet. So he's got
Well, he's
40
losing
scrap.
money, so
Yeah. We do have a double liberate going on. It's interesting that he's liberating and not pillaging.
Corrino is now also going after as Fremen for revenge. Don't blame him. I would too. Yeah, I think Beef Frog set himself back by going the way he went with those conscripts and not defending his base. Honestly, I think he should have pushed Fremen off of his border. That would have been far more useful to him.
I don't think is Fremen on his border? You mean where he
Yeah,
started?
he was bordering him.
I thought he just wormed through the
No,
deep
no,
desert.
he did he?
I think
No,
so.
but like the region before that, Fremen, that's how he was able to send those reinforcements because he marched them through his own territory. Best here to liberate these regions while being hit by this altar.
Yeah, and
Man, that has got to be really annoying.
Frog is about to have a successful assault on one of Fremen's villages, so the double pronged attack is working.
Fremen at the moment probably feeling very frustrated now that he still has to fight two opponents on two different fronts. You know, he was probably thinking a few minutes ago as Fremen, he's like, oh, this will be easy. I can take out Corrino, focus on
I don't think Fremen's
Harkonnen, but
worried.
now they're both going in.
I think
Hmm?
I don't think Fremen's worried. I think he's feeling pretty comfortable. He's about to maybe lose a village. I think he'll even stop it, but the reinforcements are here now for Cream.
Yeah, he
And
stopped that liberation.
they're still supported by the altar.
Mm,
I mean, this army's going to be wiped.
definitely. Unfortunately for Cream, I just think that this is Fremen's game to lose, honestly. Yeah, Cream doing what he can to rebuild his army, but Fremen could run away with this game. The only chance they get is if those two coordinate or if Fremen makes a mistake.
Well,
That's all I could
they
see
are
happening.
coordinating, but you're coordinating with like half a
Mm.
man because he only has one
There we
base.
go. They're putting gear rigs on Fremen.
That'll do something.
There we go. It went through. Fremen is now weaker. See, as Harkonnen, though, he does have 460 lands, right? He could grab Governor
Right.
and defend himself, and they would be able to do nothing about it.
And technically, Corrino could do the same thing. It's just I don't think he
Well,
would.
I don't think Corrino is going to be able to defend himself that well at the moment. Or yeah, no, especially with his army that keeps getting killed. He's got a lot of Sodokar.
I
Now
don't even
Corrino's still got
I don't even
double
think
cross.
Corrino is going to be able to liberate this. I think now that the pressure from Cream is removed, that Fremen's going to have
Yeah.
time to come back. Yep.
So interesting to know. Cream Beefrog is still possibly looking to threaten Hedge potentially if he's left alone. He's built double craft workshop in that region over there. Yep, and he's forced to back off because Fremen is over here.
He's struggling with
Sacrificing an
supplies, struggling with
incinerator.
water. He's lost almost all his villages, so he's doing the best he can with the hand he's got at the moment. But it's pretty poor hand.
We mentioned in the previous episode a position of kingmaker. Do you want to explain what that? Not that I think he will, but do you want to explain to the people what that kind of position is or what kingmaking is?
Yeah, and that's kind of the scenario that we're in. Of basically, Carino doesn't have a win condition here. He can't. I mean, maybe he could pull a governor off. Even if he did, he would have to defend it. But since he doesn't really have a solid win condition, all he can do is kind of affect the outcome of the game by either supporting Fremen or supporting Harkonnen. And if you're playing, I'll say ethically, you always attack the guy who's in the lead. But by doing so, you end up securing the victory for the guy that's in second place.
Not in the lead,
So
yeah.
that's called king making, and that's kind of all Carino can do here is do I stop Fremen from winning, and by doing so, maybe Harkonnen wins. But either way, he's not going to probably win here. But sometimes unexpected
No.
things happen. You know, maybe Harkonnen and Fremen will just absolutely battle to one another to a death, and he can sneak a governor win in while they're both almost dead. But
Well, they are. Harkonnen and Cream are fighting over there. Harkonnen and Fremen are fighting over there.
yeah, so this might be an opportunity to
No.
wipe the Fremen army and start to push him back before he can resupply.
Hark does look like he's winning this fight. He is winning this fight. Again, a few harpies here would have done wonders. I think Cream needs to start
Yeah,
going to that spacing guild.
he's making guild favor now. Question
Mm.
is does he save 100 to get the what's their frigate called?
And there's the altar.
But yeah, does he build a frigate or does he build harpies?
Personally, I'd build the harpies because you can get more of them at.
Yeah, I think he doesn't have time to wait.
Corrino making a move over here to do his best.
There's a decoy
Decoy
thumper.
thumper.
Pretty clever usage.
I'm not sure what Corrino's looking to do. Is he attacking? He's not attacking Harkonnen. What is going on down there? What are their troops doing? I'm
Well,
gonna take a look at
they
Cream's.
can't.
I'm gonna
He
take a
used the
look at
decoy
Bfrog's.
thumper so that they're about to get eaten by a worm, which they just did. So
Mm.
Fremen is standing above the deep desert with his altar and use the decoy thumper so that if they try to engage it standing in the middle of the desert, they're going to get eaten by a worm. So it's a clever play.
I think what they're trying to do is, as from Corrino's side, I think he's trying to absorb as many shots as possible from that altar to let Harkonnen take it. But it does look like he was going for the Polis a
Well,
consequence of his
he's trying to
actions,
get somewhere he can not die from
and he
supply
just lost his
loss.
army.
Yeah, he didn't have any
Corrino,
supply. Oh, and
Corrino's army was just eaten.
the worm got him again. That worm got him twice.
And there we go. Fremen in the lead. Corrino and Harkonnen need to start pushing more, or they need to start pressing a governor win with Cream. I'd start pressing a governor win in the background.
So
We mentioned in the. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I do think he is gonna get that spice field off of him.
Oh yeah, definitely. Unless Fremen worms over at the moment, but I think he'll get it. But he's also going for the polar sink.
And yeah, people in chat are raising a good point. I think an assassination on Fremen here could really it could really shake things up. Fremen is quite vulnerable to that in the late game because they do get so spread out. And the way assassination works, since a lot of people aren't as familiar with it because it has changed a lot and it's really honestly not described too great, is that you put infiltration cells down on different villages, and you can put up to 2 by default. With a development, you can get 3 of them. But for each one you have, it lets you have another agent assigned on that faction. And as long as you've got one of those infiltration villages up, you can send an assassin to that village to make sure that your assassination is progressing at a fast enough rate. And the only way
going over to help Corrino. Sorry to interrupt.
I was just say the only way for them to prevent the assassination is if they discover those villages, which they have to use an operation on. And since Fremen is so spread out, that's going to be very difficult for him to even find them, especially while he's being 2v1'd. And even if they don't, if they don't succeed with the assassination, just the threat of being assassinated is enough to really get someone kind of tilted and playing ineffectively, which is what you need in this situation right now.
Funny enough, an interesting tactic they could have done is all of Fremen's special reach, because sometimes you can just cells in. What you can do is you can put it on the special regions and force Fremen to have to fight over those regions, because then you can send your army there and keep the infiltration cell up. So yeah, you could force him to have to abandon his hegemony or try and get rid of the assassination if you drop it on his special regions. There we go. Corrino got Eyes of the Council. He might actually be. He could look for an assassination here with that now. He's got the agents now, so potentially Corrino could look to assassinate Fremen, and then Harkonnen's gonna steal the game at that point.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very tough.
Yeah, half of.
But we were talking about. Oh, go ahead,
No,
go
you
ahead.
you go ahead.
I was gonna say we were talking about in the last game that you should always have two win cons so you can pivot. At the moment, I don't think Corrino didn't have another win con, and neither did Ecaz. They both threw their win cons away. What do you think Cream's two win cons for this game are?
Cream's two win cons.
Yeah, what do you think he's going for?
Possibly hedge. I mean, he's neck and neck with Fremen now that he just took a territory off of him. It's not out of the question. I don't think. I think Gov would be his other win con.
Mm,
I don't think we're gonna see Chome. I don't think he doesn't. I haven't seen him really do anything with assassinations. I don't think he's gonna try that. I do think Corrino might be angling for assassination.
mm.
But that's one of the things is you
So, do you
almost
think it's
wish you could.
important?
Do I think it's what?
Important to have two different win cons in your back pocket at all times.
Absolutely, absolutely. And
Mm,
you know, if you can get into a position where you can have pressure in multiple fronts in the form of a win con, like that's always ideal. It can be hard to do that though, and in this situation you almost want to whisper in these players' ears and be like, "Hey, maybe you should try assassinating him." Obviously, we can't do that, but that's the thing
yeah.
about Dune. Being truly good at it, you need to see all of the options that are available to you and when you can pivot to that
Mm.
because the game gives you a lot of tools. And then the other thing is there's this mental component to Dune where
They're so locked in now at the
yeah,
moment. They're so like driven by madness or being pressured so much. The stress gets to you. I've been there. I've been in a situation where
well,
I've almost
not
won, but
just
I
that.
threw it
If
due to
you're,
this frustration.
we're not listening to the players. We could maybe tune into them in a second,
Mm.
but for all we know, they're having their own little shit talking session or trying to convince one
Yeah.
another that they're screwed and just to get somebody to give up or to influence their thinking so that they're vulnerable in another way.
I don't think he's going to be able to convince any. I don't think Spilberk is going to be able to convince anyone that he's not a threat at the moment. And I'll be honest, if I'm Corrino, I'd be very angry at Spielberg. I don't think I'd be even willing to turn against the Harkonnen
Well,
after what Spielberg did.
see, you're hoping right now that Corrino and Harkonnen, that maybe Harkonnen's like, hey, you should assassinate that guy, and Corrino's like, oh yeah, good
Hate him,
idea.
yeah. It's completely possible. Let me actually tune into his stream, see what he's doing. He is starting the assassination, apparently. He is doing it, as you said. If you look, he's got the infiltration cell. Is that an infiltration cell on Harkonnen or Fremen, though? I can't tell.
The finalists happened
If
down
you just want to take a look at Beefrog's stream, do you
Yeah,
is
I'm
Harkonnen
gonna.
or
I've got
Water.
Bfrog
There's
unmuted.
a lot of territory. So his whole army's up here. You can
what's
do
he
whatever you
saying?
want right now.
They should be coming through, Bfrog, and maybe you should unmute him.
Don't know how to play Hark Optimus.
Yeah, let me unmute him and hear what he's saying. Nothing. I can't hear anything from him at the moment. But I think he's trying to assassinate Fremen. At least that's what I hope that infiltration cell is. I don't know if it is actually on Harkonnen or Fremen. He could be looking to take out Harkonnen and give Fremen the game.
That's what I'm seeing. His stream's a little blurry, but that looks like a red infiltration cell, not a yellow one.
Symbol, yeah. Or maybe he sees a win that he can go for. Again, like you said, it's important to always try and play to win at all times and not be in that position of king making. So who knows? Oh, it's on Harkonnen. He is trying. No, wait, no, that's not the infiltration cell. He dropped something else.
I mean, it is a Harkonnen one. Which
Actually?
unless he's also trying to assassinate Fremen and has infiltration cells there already, I don't understand why he would go for Harkonnen.
I don't know why he would give up his only protection in the lobby.
We do have three Harpies out now by Harkonnen.
Good. That can threaten Fremen now.
He's trying.
I'll be honest. If it was, yeah, it is a Harkonnen infiltration cell. His stream's fully loaded. Thing is, I do feel like once Harkonnen's gone, Fremen's won because Beefrog just does not have the potential to threaten him at the moment, and he's going to kill his only protector.
Oh man!
I think it's a big misplay. He should have killed Fremen with it.
he wasn't quite able to stop that liberation, and I guess he lost another zone because he's not even on the hedge radar anymore. In fact, Corrino is, which
Yeah,
just shows
that's what
you.
Corrino's doing. Look at that. He's stealing regions. It's gone up to 17k now.
But he needs to assassinate Fremen. Is like that is Corrino's win con right now. Is he assassinates Fremen, he stops trying to assassinate Harkonnen, and he helps Harkonnen long enough because he's ahead of Harkonnen now hedge wise.
Hmm. I'm just again, we don't know what's going on through the player's head. B-Frog being the troll he is. Can you hear what they're saying, Lucidic? You unmuted them, I assume.
Fucking game.
Oh, you
I'm very
unmuted
much on the
B-Frog.
fucking game.
Yeah, I got him unmuted now.
What's he going on about? What's he saying?
I don't hear
Anything
anything.
spicy?
I unmuted him halfway through his sentence.
Hmm.
Maybe they've
Harkonnen
just resigned themselves.
mercenaries.
Yeah, we're seeing a
Harkonnen
mercenary
building
rush.
mercenaries. I think he's going to try to take out that altar. The altar's running away. There it goes. He still has 3 harpies though, so that could help him. But yeah, I can see Harkonnen fully committing to mercenary spam at the moment.
All right, they're chatting to one another in a game. We're about to see an EMP from
Preparing EMP.
and they're trying to take his spice.
I don't blame him. I mean, he's winning the game. Like, I don't think as Spilberk you can really say that they're teaming you, but look at you. You're at 24k and they're not even in the 20s yet.
Well, I don't know. We keep
And I mean,
hearing
he's
about
been attacking them both.
how Fremen are ruined and weak and have a weak late game army, but they keep winning these tournaments. Just saying.
Well, it's because nobody's pressuring them. It's like Corrino, and then if you leave Fremen alone as well, they're going to become a threat. Corrino's still holding agents, so he is looking to assassinate Harkonnen for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Those mercenaries actually did pretty well against the altar with the harpies shredding it.
Coward.
Mercenaries are good
Same
with anything, honestly. They're pretty solid. It's just the downside is the upkeep. Corrino over here is going okay, I see what he's trying to do. He's trying to build his hedge back up. He's building double craft workshops in all the regions he can.
Just so you know, mercenaries don't have an upkeep anymore. They cast a flat 500 Solari and they last 20 days.
Ah, okay, then that's the downside. They only last 20 days, but they're still mercenaries are really
Keep pressuring him, man.
these
We
can
got this.
fix a problem Fremen have, which is long range units. That's a strategy I've seen used a lot by Fremen players. Fremen at 20 is that 20 yeah 24.8k hegemony at the moment. Polar sync is wincom.
They can't let it. If he gets the polar
And
sync, he
what is
wins.
Oh yes. The longer this goes on, the more disadvantaged they become. B-Frog just sent some Sardaukars to Cream to help him win those fights a little more easily.
I'm surprised they didn't do that a long time ago.
This is Spilberg's game to lose. He's been dominating this lobby ever since Ecaz.
At this stage of the game, every tax payment edges him closer and closer to victory, and he might even be generating passive hedge. I know that Corrino
He is. I saw him. He had some craft workshops in some other areas.
Yeah, so those are just going to churn away.
Corrino is trying. 18k. Corrino is slowly creeping up, but can he do it? That is the question. Now, this is a really tough spot to be in as Cream, because now your win con is gone, but Corrino's building his win con again.
Cream can, if Cream were in a situation where he needs to kill Corrino, he could very easily. He just has to get
absolutely.
Fremen dealt with. But that's going to be, short of an elimination, that hedge timer is just going to slowly strangle out all the other win cons.
I think Spilberg's got this. I just don't see him making any mistakes at the moment.
That's how I see things as well.
It's unfortunate that this game, again, if Ecaz did not rush that governor when it was still in the game to make plays, then this wouldn't have gone down like this. And when you see that kind of stuff happen, not
Yeah,
that it's lolgec's fault, he went for something, but when a player falls out, do you think it becomes slightly more difficult for certain individuals to play the game?
100%. And that's part of just the mechanics of Dune. You know, there are certain Corrino in particular really likes having other factions in the game because certain bonuses
I
they
can
get.
see. Are you seeing this fight
I
between
am.
Harkonnen and Fremen?
Yeah, this.
I think Harkonnen's
I think Harkonnen will get it. The
he's
question
losing the
is,
fight.
I think he'll kill the ground forces. I just don't think he'll be able to do anything about the altar.
That's a
Those
bit of the downside,
those
I think, with this
executioners
counselor.
are pretty tanky with all the deaths going on.
Mm. He could potentially. He wiped the Fremen's army. He could steal this region from Fremen. But now the question is Corrino taking advantage of this?
I don't know.
Is
Let's
he
pop
going
over
into
to Bfrog's stream.
territories? He is trying to liberate some territories. Brilliant. This is exactly what you need, this kind of cooperation. They need to liberate this before the next spice tax hit, because we don't know how much passive hegemony Fremen is on at the moment. But sorry to interrupt you. Yeah, you were saying earlier about when a
Well,
player goes out.
yeah, I'll be a little more verbose, but we said it earlier. Fremen in particular really benefits from having an early elimination, and it's even better if they don't have to be the one that causes that early elimination. Like basically, Ecaz put a target on himself. Fremen didn't have to kill him, and so Fremen went and killed Corrino immediately after, which was a beautiful play because he really took advantage of the just how quickly it was after the fact that nobody was expecting it. He wasn't able to get his army back there. It caught him off guard in such a great way that even if he didn't fully finish off that base, which he did anyways, that first assault basically already killed it to where it just wasn't a threat.
Yeah, I think they might have lost here. The spice tax is coming in really soon, sitting at 27K. I think this. I think this game is over. I think Spilberg's won this tournament.
Yep. And back to what you were asking about the factions, smugglers aren't in this game, but smugglers I find are affected the most when someone's eliminated because they were siphoning resources off of their villages the whole
Resources.
time.
Yeah. Funny enough, I was going to say, I reckon lolgec would have not gone the way he went if there were smugglers in his lobby. I reckon he would not have thought he could get away with governor. That is 28 hegemony. They could, if they're lucky, and out there he's capturing a region. I think it's over. Unless Corrino's liberating something, the game is now over. You see that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunate for Cream and Corrino.
Well, wait, where's the capture happening? Oh, I see it, yeah. Yep, there it
There
is.
we go. Well played.
GG.
I don't know
Yeah,
if
that was
you
well
want to
played.
continue the recording and ask the players how it went afterwards, or if you want to end it there and we just talk to them
Yeah,
after the recording.
let's unmute him and talk for a little bit.
Okay, I'll ping them to unmute us. Good game.
Yeah,
Lolgec.
I did.
So Lolgec, that early governor play. Did you? What? I want to know. How did you think you were going to get away with that from your perspective?
I think first of all, with judges and knights, you can very quickly beat anyone.
Mm,
But I didn't have judges, and the other two guy had siege incentives, and
mm,
the base just went down much more quicker than I thought it would be. I had a game
mm,
before when the same thing happened. Three guys attacked me, and apparently I think they didn't have siege incentives, and I survived an attack
mm.
of three people. So I was assuming that I would survive this time again. And I think if I'm not too far away, then maybe I could survive this too. I think when I died, I already killed one army, so I think it was all right.
Yeah, and unfortunately for you, we did think you were going to die because you went for that rush and made yourself an enemy too quickly. It is unfortunate, but you played really well. You lasted a lot longer than I thought you would, but I definitely thought from the start that you were going to have some trouble with that win that you were going for, especially the way you rushed it so quickly. Do you think you could have done anything better to help you achieve that victory or prevent you from dying? What do you think you could have done better?
Probably could have not wandered too much further away from my main base. I was too far away. I
Hmm.
could have made some missile batteries. I'm not sure. I think I had full army.
Hmm.
Maybe I could have had more. Big misplay was that I didn't check the vote when the judge of the council came up because I didn't
Uh-huh.
see that Harkonnen is eligible.
Yeah, I
It
was
was frozen
wondering.
and
I didn't think I
Actually,
saw your
Hark
votes
being
on that.
eligible, like nearly got you that vote because if he wasn't, he would have voted against it.
no, that's the trick. If nobody's
No, we know
eligible,
that trick. We
then
literally said in a voice chat that yeah, we are not getting tricked by that because
yeah,
So-
but do you know that if nobody's eligible, you cannot even decline. So you have to be
oh
you have to be really paying attention because I was making my army above 40 CP at the very last second and I placed my votes. So you can only decline if you are really super aware and
yeah, I think we could
open
have done
the
that.
tab at the very last
So-
We
second.
could have done
So,
that with Bfrog because Bfrog
I-
realized
very
that much
new. We were all talking about
wanted to, yeah,
yeah, but do you?
I was going to say, Lolgec, I thought I would say your strategy that you went for works really well in random lobbies, but against experienced players, I didn't think it was going to work very well. And these guys caught on to it. They knew that was going to come for them.
like the moment
yeah,
Bfrog
I wanted
realized
to try
that,
it. I wanted to
like
see
the
how,
meme,
how good it is against good
the
players.
moment Bfrog said it, I immediately went and got that spice over there to have a
Yeah,
forward base.
I'm surprised you let him set up in front of you.
Yeah, I was expecting him to attack.
Maybe, but
Hmm.
then Cream helps him, and I don't know. I
So, also, getting back to you, Bfrog, why were you choosing to assassinate Cream and not Fremen?
I thought Cream would win the engagement.
No.
I
Unfortunately,
don't have
Cream
enough,
was
I don't have enough experience on Hark to win those fights.
to win that engagement.
Hark should
It's
win
fine,
against
yeah.
Fremen there.
You
Yeah,
were winning, but the problem is your army was dying in the process, so you were never able to liberate anything. Or you would
No,
liberate
like,
so that he'd come back and capture
the
it really early.
issue why Hark had such a bad problems was because I had a lot of military buffs. Very early on.
I don't
So my-
understand what their anti-air unit is. Do they have an anti-air unit?
And the reason why
Is it the stealth
Ecaz got the attack on Ecaz got delayed was because I won the RNGesus lottery and got the fucking renegades to spawn next to me.
Typically,
Plus
the way you
50
kill.
guilds, like plus 50 parts. And Fremen are the slowest to get parts and to get their frigate, but they have the strongest frigate in the game. I was so happy when I saw that.
I was going to say, we reckon. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Did you have the damage reduction aura on the altar during fights with?
Yes, I switched. I had it, and it was sitting above the fight.
That's the reason.
And
So can
half
someone
the
explain
army.
to me what the Hark anti-air unit is?
Yeah, it's
Do they have one?
it's the demolition.
Gunner.
Yeah, the gunner.
Gunner
what?
with Gatling and
then
gunner with
pistols.
Gatling and damage demo gear.
it's literally just the Overlord. Like, if you don't have the Overlord code, that's it.
Yeah, you need a gunner to shred the armor, then the Overlord actually destroys.
And
ships.
harpies.
But you
No,
need the
actually,
Overlord.
gunners, they have something like 7 damage at 5 times attack speed, so they quickly reduce your armor to 0
Yeah, I know.
and then start doing 35 damage, basically.
Yeah, I know.
Hold on. Before you guys continue, I just want to say, so Bfrog, Lucidic was saying if you were actually assassinated Fremen, it would have been Cream's game at that point, but you would have gotten revenge for what Fremen did to you, where he just took out your Imperial Basin.
Well, but also you potentially could have. You were ahead of hedge at the end because you were making it passively, I guess, and it probably would have been a long shot for you to get a hedge win, but you maybe could have gotten a gov win.
Oh yeah, I was going for the Gov win. The thing was, it was a really, really, really big misplay, and I was complaining about the whole fucking time. I dropped my base on Ecaz's territories, thinking that I could steal all his shit once he was dead. But the
And
real
all
fuck up was
of-
not noticing that Ecaz had filled every single one of his territories chock full of monuments.
Yep.
So I couldn't
Yeah.
actually, like, I had to delete them just to make my economy back. And by doing so, I fucked my governor chance. But literally,
Yeah,
like, I
like-
was
That's a
dying, man.
great
I had
point.
to
We
do
saw
it.
that as well. Yeah, like we were saying, like lolgec went full in. Like he threw everything into this governor win. He was deleting buildings and building monuments.
Yeah,
That's
we
why
know.
I said he's not going to make it. He was so desperate to get in there with that win con.
Well, but
Yeah.
yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Like, oh man, that's where Bfrog just needs to go scoop all that up. I didn't realize that he would have things everywhere that would slow you down. So that's a good
Monuments.
point. But then
it
they,
was
I
everything
don't-
monument.
but the
I don't
other
know if
thing
you
is,
caught it, but
Fremen
I accidentally-
immediately went over and attacked your other base immediately after Ecaz was done. And what was your thoughts there, Spilberk? Because that timing was very key in your victory, I think.
It was absolutely beautiful because I looked at like I was always planning to killing the Corrino. Like that was the plan.
That's what we
that was the
thought.
strategy.
I
Because,
literally said
like,
that at the start of the game.
I fucking saw that and I was like, yeah. And when I found out that I can literally warm over to the base, like literally inch from it.
Nice.
I knew that base is dead. When I got
I was
that
wondering-
offer, I knew he is completely fucked. And when he was
I was
when he
wondering,
had his
Big Frog,
army
why
away,
did
or like he
you-
had like 5 CP sitting there, that was free. I just dove there. He had nothing.
So
I had entire
why did
65 CP.
you?
I had everything ready. I had the special building that buffs military up very early because I needed to dive. I did a misplay where I like the only misplay or a big misplay I made this game was maybe I should have gone earlier for the special regions in the middle, but my thought there was that I expect them to be able for them like to push me back in the middle. Because I didn't want it to group up, so I was like, okay, more safer is going down the south, taking the smaller regions is gonna take a longer time, but it's gonna be
Anyways,
longer. It's gonna be safer. I will have a deep desert.
Nice.
And only misplay I did that was I don't believe that was a misplay. The only misplay I did was having very late +2 attack on Fedakins, because that gives you -20 Solari and it's just very expensive. So didn't want to take
So
up myself.
Bfrog, I was very curious. Why did you decide to go full conscript spam?
Okay, first of all, I didn't have a Ramsham, so I didn't have the options for Sadaka.
Yes, you couldn't get the Sadaka, but no incinerators, no artillery. So
No, I did use incinerators.
Well, not you
no, but
didn't
that's
get
after he
incinerators.
destroyed your base.
You didn't get incinerators
not a-
until after you had lost your base.
Yeah, it was because I was fucking. I don't know, why didn't I? I had a reason, but I can't. But, it was something about just like bad matchups versus Ecaz or something, or like I don't even know. Maybe it was a misplay. Yeah, I probably should have had them. I got them afterwards. Oh shit, it would have been pretty cool if I had these.
We were honestly saying. I said you were trying to relive the glory days of when a Ramsham gave buffs to conscripts. We helped conscripts.
Exactly. No,
We thought
it
that's
was.
what you were trying to do.
Yeah, like the issue with the Spilberk's attack was I was hyperextended.
Yeah, you were
Mm.
short
really
of a
badly.
supply.
Like, I had
He
to
was
run
trying to-
around. Like I don't know if you guys could see it, but I was going after the spice field that was to the left of
Yeah, we saw.
Ecaz, I believe. I mean, to the left of where Ecaz used to be. And because of that, I had to run around and then airfield back. Like you're right, the timing was fucking perfect for Spilberk. Like the timing was fucking amazing. But I did consider like losing my main base as not that big of a deal. Like it was.
So they
it was pretty
liberated all the
big, but, like,
territories.
I thought for sure that these motherfuckers would like get into a huge scuffle with each other, and neither of them would come out as the victor. I could just fortify up, get my hegemony up. I was making like 100 and something hegemony, so like I was definitely making the passive income. Like if the fight went well between the two big boys, then I think I would have had a chance of winning. The thing is, as well, as I said, I kind of I started to assassinate Cream, assuming that he would win the fights versus Fremen. But when he started losing the fights versus Fremen, then I had to move my army over there when I was already hyperextended before. And fucking, like, when he took out all my fucking water, man, like, that really, really destroyed my ability to take regions. I lost a lot of my supply.
I mean,
Hold
I
on,
destroyed everything you had.
guys, before you continue, sorry, we just have to end the recording at the moment. We were recording, hearing your guys' feedback, but Lucidic, if you just want to end the recording now, that should be fine. That was
Okay, I'm gonna also end my recording, so it
All
ends
right.
at the same time.
Well, good game, everybody. Thanks for putting on a
Yeah,
good
thank you
match.
very
It was a lot
much.
of fun. We'll see you next week.